Hey guys, it's Mahel here, and in the second part of my applying for a master's degree in the UK video series, I'm going to be talking to you about the personal statement and the CV. And in fact, I'm going to be showing you my personal statement that I used for the University of Manchester and many other Russell Group universities, which in total got me 6 out of 9 offers. But before we get into the video, if you're new here or if you haven't already, then make sure to click the subscribe button and click the bell to turn all post notifications on so that you don't miss out on a single video as soon as it goes live. Also, if you want access to exclusive perks such as being able to play games with me on various platforms, or the opportunity to message me directly on Instagram to ask a burning question regarding UCAS, university, master's degrees or anything else, then make sure you become a channel member today. You can do so by clicking the join button below this video, and it only costs $4.99 a month. But without further ado, we're going to get straight into the video, and the first thing I'm going to talk about is the personal statement, and the best way to talk about the personal statement is to show you. So we're going to transition over to my personal statement over on the computer. So here we have the personal statement that I used to successfully get an offer from the University of Manchester, which I now study at, as well as many other Russell Group universities. Like I said before, I only applied for Russell Group universities and I got 6 out of 9 offers in total, including the likes of Warwick, York, Leeds, Bristol, Manchester and Sheffield, with rejections from Oxford, King's College and Birmingham. Before I go any further, do not try to copy this, do not try to plagiarize it, because not only is it very unique to myself, but also it has been run through Turnitin when I did submit my applications for Oxford and one other university. And so if you do try to copy this, it will come up and the admissions tutor will know exactly where it came from. So don't do it. This is simply to provide an idea of how to structure your personal statement for a master's degree application. But without further ado, we're going to get into it. So here you can see I have a header that just says Mahel Khan : personal statement. You can put this in, you don't have to, but I feel it looks nice. Anyways, moving on. The first paragraph and the last paragraph are like a bread in a sandwich. It's like an introduction paragraph and a concluding paragraph. And everything in between is the filler for that sandwich. You want it to be meaty. And that is what I believe that I did, because I covered multiple ground, and I'm going to be telling you exactly what you need to cover. So the introduction, to be honest, is a bit of waffle, but it does sound good. It is quite concise, and it opens up the rest of the personal statement, in my opinion. I'm not going to read this part out loud, but you can pause the video if you want to read this part. We're going to get into the main bits. So I'm going to just use the highlight tool. So this part is basically saying why I want to study the degree that I'm applying for and what exactly it can bring towards to me. So here I say the MA Political Science Governance and Public Policy Pathway Programme is of appeal to me given the breadth of electives available to students. Given that I can choose from modules such as comparing capitalisms in a global economy and understanding political change. The funny thing is, I did actually end up choosing this module. I don't think I chose this module, however. But the point is, you don't even have to choose the modules that you mentioned if you do decide to take this approach that I've taken. Just simply say something about the degree so that it looks like you've actually done your research rather than the sake of applying for it. That is exactly what I was doing here. But anyways, I will undoubtedly be offered the opportunity to develop a broad skill set, one which brings together my interests and experience that I've built from my current academic journey. So here you can say, so I've mentioned the program name, it appeals to me because, and also a bit about that program, because again, I'm showing that I've taken some interest in it and looked into the degree rather than simply just applying for it for the sake of it, which is really important. Okay, so once we've got past this bit, and by the way, this is set up in a way where I was able to simply change this part and this part depending on the university course and the university that I was applying for. So for example, if I was applying for the equivalent course at the University of Leeds, I just put the title of the degree that was offered at the University of Leeds, as well as the modules from the University of Leeds, but the rest of it stayed the same. And this made things so much easier, as I didn't have to write up a new personal statement every time I applied. Anyways, next part. Let's highlight a different color. This is talking about what I was doing at the time, and at the time I was a University of Nottingham undergraduate student in BSc Management. So, studying a BSc in Management at University of Nottingham, I have gained a key insight into key themes of globalization and governance. So whereas here we were saying that the political science course that I was applying for is of appeal to me given blah 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 blah, here I'm saying what I was doing at the time and what I've already learned from it. So I mentioned themes of globalization and governance. Governance especially being really important here because it's linked to the actual degree title, which is MA Political Science, Governance and Public Policy. And I'm essentially showing how a business degree, although a completely different subject, will help me do well in a politics degree. So this already, I'm bringing links here. You want to essentially link everything together, have it well flowing, have it well structured, and this is what I'm doing. So I put through my module Business, Government and Public Policy. You don't have to have studied a module that is relevant to the masters that you're applying for. Luckily I did, but in the event that you haven't, just simply pick a module that you enjoyed and say why you enjoyed it and what you learned from it. But I mentioned that I achieved a high 2-1 in this module to essentially say, yeah, I know I did a business degree, but hey, when I did a politics related module, I mean, it was still business degree and business school, I did well in it. So you know what? If I went onto your course, I can do well in that too. That's what I was trying to convey to the admissions tutor here. I said I learned about the role of state and how media can influence public policy making. And then, yeah, I just said what I learned from that module. So already relevance to the degree that I'm applying for, what I achieved in it, and showing that there was good academic performance in it, and what I learned from it. And then overall, I've achieved an upper second class degree, which I hope will demonstrate my academic ability. Again, showing that I have what it takes to do a master's degree. Here, obviously, I applied for University of Manchester late, and so that's why I say I have achieved an upper second class degree. But in most cases where you'll be applying whilst you're still studying, just say I am expected to obtain an upper second class degree, if that is the case, or first class. You just put like that you predicted or you expect to obtain said grade if you haven't achieved your final grade just yet. So the next section is about extracurricular activities. You can see this section is quite a large chunk, and in fact it's the biggest part of the personal statement. Why? Because this is exactly where the admissions tutor gets to learn about me, beyond what I study, and more about what interests me, what I do on a day-to-day, what kind of things that I've done to take initiative to go beyond just someone who studies. Yeah, because think about it, there are thousands of students who get a degree in this country from one university, let alone from all of the universities. I need to stand out. And how do I stand out? Extracurricular activities. And I need to tell the admissions tutor everything here. This is a sales pitch, remember. So I need to sell myself really well, and that's what I believe I did here. We'll highlight this different color. We'll go for this one. Why not? So outside of academic life, I'm a content creator on the largest online video platform where I focus on student life and the educational framework of the UK. Yeah, I mentioned my YouTube channel. Why? Because although some people might be like, oh, that's a bit cringe, you mentioned your YouTube channel, I'm not sure that's something I really want to be shouting about. We're in 2022. Digital marketing is massive. So I'm showing that I'm basically doing something that people actually get paid to do. Like, people actually get paid 9-to-5 jobs to run YouTube channels, run TikTok, social media in general, and yet here I am doing it unpaid and on my own accord, and I want to sell that to the admissions tutor. And it's quite unique as well. Not everyone is a YouTuber, and not everyone has 26,000 subscribers. So obviously I'm going to use this opportunity to sell that. So I continue by saying that I've amassed over 25,000 subscribers and have contributed content to The Guardian, BBC Asian Network and ITV News, which is true. You can find me on The Guardian, BBC Asian Network and ITV News. Again, bit of a flex, and you might be like, oh Mel, why are you even mentioning this? But again, sales pitch, you want to big yourself up as possible. You're not coming across as arrogant as such, but at the same time, you want to show the admissions tutor, this is me, this is what I do. Do you like it? That kind of thing. So then I say that I've been involved in several different extracurricular activities during my undergraduate studies. So in first year, I was a digital ambassador for the University of Nottingham. And I said that this was my most notable achievement, as essentially I was representing the university, and so this was quite a big achievement. And then I'll continue to talk about what I did in that role and what I basically learned from it. Don't just simply say, oh, I do this. Say what you have done. Then I say that I was tasked with promoting social presence, in addition to understanding concerns of the student body raised through social media. And then that recently I took a school ambassador role for university to widen participation amongst students, particularly underrepresented demographics in higher education, as I believe that education is a fundamental right that should not be defined by socio-economic factors. I do believe that, by the way, and that's what I want to champion on this channel. But here again, I said what I did, which was school ambassador for the University of Nottingham, but also what that role involved, and also my own belief. So I'm not only showing that, oh, I've done this, but I'm also showing why it kind of matters to me. And so I think this is quite a good paragraph. Then I say these experiences have allowed me to develop my abilities to address an audience, in addition to my time management skills. Believe me, running a YouTube channel alongside a degree is hard work, as you will probably have noticed from my lack of uploads as of late, but it does test my time management skills and also the ability to address an audience. Very important, by the way, addressing an audience, because at master's level you will have more presentations than you did at undergraduate level, and so this is actually quite good. People say to me that I'm quite well spoken, and I believe that this is in part due to the fact that I am a YouTuber. So then I say, having consistently managed my activities alongside my studies. So with a master's degree, obviously there's more independent study, it's more rigorous, but here I'm showing again that I'm ready to do a master's degree because I can manage multiple commitments, and quite well, as evidenced by the 25,000 subscribers at the time. So it all like links together in the same paragraph, but also in different parts of the personal statement. So then I say, if I am successful in my application to the University of Manchester, again, this is quite a standard paragraph. I just replace University of Manchester with, for example, University of Leeds, if I was applying for Leeds, Warwick, if I was applying for Warwick, yada yada yada. So this is why I made my personal statement in the way I did, because I could literally just change the university name or the degree title, and the rest of it would stay the same, as long as I was applying for public policy, which this personal statement was for. Then I would hope to leverage my knowledge and experience as a content creator to help the university broaden its brand and appeal in my capacity as a postgraduate student. I was essentially trying to say here that I want to become a ambassador for the University of Manchester, post on their social media. That hasn't happened, but hey, I at least expressed my interest in doing that. Already, again, I'm showing that, oh, if I do go into this course, this is what I would be looking to do, which is important. Anyways, we're on to the last three paragraphs. I say, being of Bangladeshi heritage, I am Bengali, by the way. A lot of people don't know this, but yes, I am. I've taken a keen interest in the recent emergence of Bangladesh as a South Asian powerhouse. Fastest growing GDP in the whole of South Asia, beating India. Come on. Bangladesh is growing up in the world. But anyways, whilst Bangladesh experienced a strong economy as East Pakistan, The war for independence and civil unrest hindered progress of a relatively new nation. In recent years, we have seen political stability, blah, 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 blah. So, again, here, I'm showing interest around politics. Because, yes, I might be Bengali, and so I might be expected to know some things about Bangladesh and its politics. But at the same time, they don't know that. After all, a lot of applications are done in a blind way to prevent discrimination. And so by mentioning here that obviously that I'm of Bangladeshi heritage and I've taken an interest in Bangladesh politics and whatnot, I'm basically linking it back to the degree, because I'm talking about governance in the context of Bangladesh. So you can see in stark contrast to preceding governments, blah, 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 blah. Again, showing relevant knowledge and interest, because it's all well saying that you want to study a degree, but you need to say why. Basically, that's what admissions tutors want to know, and how you need to also demonstrate your interest in that. And that's why here I mentioned the modules to show that I've actually looked at the degree that I'm applying for, and then back here to show some relevant knowledge to the degree that I'm applying for. Then this is the final paragraph before the conclusion, and this essentially outlines what I want to do with the degree if I am let onto it. So I say, upon completing the MA Political Science Governance and Public Policy pathway, again, here at the University of Manchester, you can literally replace this with degree title of wherever you're applying for, as well as university of wherever you're applying for. That's why I've structured it in this way. But again, try not to copy this personal statement. I'm just trying to provide an idea of the structure that I used. I say that I would ultimately seek to work within the UK Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, so the FCDO, or the United Nations, with a view to assist Bangladesh or any other developing nation in achieving social and economic stability through continual implementation of a rigid political framework. So obviously here I was talking about Bangladesh, and here I'm talking about assisting Bangladesh. So this is essentially interest around the degree field, which is politics, and then this is how I would use the degree to then further my interest and also support them. So you can see chronological order, why I want to study a degree, this the yellow paragraph, what I had basically learned from my undergraduate degree, extracurricular activities, interest around the field of politics or the degree in general, and then what I want to do with the degree. And then the closing paragraph just says, the University of Manchester is a prestigious institution with a global reputation, ranked in the top 30 of world universities. Yep. A postgraduate education from the university will undoubtedly strengthen my profile as a candidate who is looking to enter a global world of policy. Note how I say, who is looking to enter a global world of policy. This whole paragraph is about that. So again, everything is linking together. It's quite a nice chronological order. And in fact, it's quite a nice sandwich in my opinion. But that basically brings us to the end of the personal statement. And now we're going to talk about the CV. Now that we've got the personal statement segment out of the way with, you might now be wondering about the CV. And the CV really is simple, especially considering, well, you should already have one. If anything, you'll only be making minor tweaks to your CV, as it currently is. However, this is probably the easier part out of the two things, with the personal statement being quite strenuous, long, as you will have just seen, and quite in-depth. And the CV essentially just listing out your education history, your interests, for example, and whatever else you feel is fit for a CV. For example, on mine, it's got my education history, so you want to start with your most recent first at the top. So at the time, it would have been University of Nottingham at the top and Dartford Grammar School at the bottom, because it would have been University of Nottingham, Dartford Grammar School for Girls, which is my sixth form, and Dartford Grammar School, which was my secondary school. And I would have listed my predicted grade for my undergraduate degree at the time, I put that I was predicted a 2-1, which I did indeed achieve in the end. My A-level grades and also my GCSE grades. However, one thing to know with the CV is that when it comes to your A-level grades and also your GCSE grades, more particularly on your GCSE grades, because some people, for example myself, I have 11 GCSEs, you do not need to list every single one of them and say what you got in every single one of them. So the way I did it was, I did actually mention what I got in my A-levels, each one of them, because there was only 3 of them. But when it came to the GCSEs, I simply only listed what I got in English language, maths, and you know what? I put in Japanese as well, because I wanted to basically show that I did a modern foreign language, and I know I also did Spanish, so I did 2 modern foreign languages that aren't English, but Japanese I got an A in, so I just wanted to put it in there. A bit of bragging rights, because although your CV isn't as much of a sales pitch as your personal statement really allows you to go descriptive with what you say and about yourself, your CV is basically like bullet points of the basic facts. So here, you don't really need to go too much in depth, and that's why I just simply listed those 3 for the GCSE section. Aside from your education, you then want to list your work history. So even if you've been working a part-time job that you don't feel is really relevant, put it on there. You want to essentially show the admissions tutor that you've been doing more than just your degree. You've been doing stuff in your free time, and obviously in a CV, as standard, you will be able to have a chance to say what skills you've gained from working that job, what experiences you've gained, and essentially what you could potentially offer. It's not quite a job application, however, it is still very similar, and that's why I say you should already have a CV, and if you do, then for a master's degree, only slight tweaks are needed. For example, with a job application, they may ask for references within the CV. However, for a master's degree, you don't need the references in the CV itself, as usually on the application on the website, it will ask for that in a separate section anyways. You do want to try and keep your CV to 1 page if possible. However, this isn't essential. My CV is actually 2 pages long. I do want to try and cut it down a bit, but there's actually quite a lot on there. So that's a bit difficult for me. However, it weren't a problem, as like I said, I got 6 out of 9 offers, all from Russell Group universities, and so it seems like admissions tutors didn't seem to mind the fact that I had 2 pages rather than a 1-pager. And aside from education history and work experience, I put in my own interests and also my awards. I have awards to my name. Not everyone's going to have awards, so don't worry about this. It was simply more about bragging rights again, because like I said, your CV is a chance to also sell yourself in brief detail, kind of an overview, everything about you in an overview, and then your personal statement is the opportunity for you to talk in depth about what you do, why you do it, what you want to do, why you want to do that, and then what you want to do after. But that basically provides an overview of everything you need to know about writing a personal statement and a CV for a master's degree application in the UK. I hope you did enjoy this video, guys and girls. I hope it has been very informative. If you did, then make sure to leave a like, comment below and subscribe, and also let me know in the comments what other videos you'd like to see from me in the future. More master's degree videos, more advice videos, vlogs, let me know in the comments. Make sure to follow me on my social media handles, that's @MehelKhan on Snapchat, Instagram and TikTok, @MehelX on Twitter, and official Mehel Khan on Facebook. I've been Mehel, talking to you about how to write a personal statement and CV for a master's degree application in the UK, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.